This conference will now be recorded.
Let me introduce myself. So this is Dinesh. I have around 15 years of experience in IT. I work for Etl Tools and then reporting and then RPA. And from last 3 years, I'm working with Snowflake. This is about myself, guys. Before starting, so could you please let me know about yourself, your work experience, if you have any work experience, or so what is your education background, so that I can understand better about you. So and then we can start the demo.
My name is Raj. I am working in SAP BW space for 5 years now, looking for Snowflake.
Thank you, Raj. Okay.
Hi, myself Naresh.
Hi, Naresh.
I'm completed my BTech in triple background, and I have 5 years of experience in AS engineer. I want to change to IT from to learn the Snowflake.
Okay. What exactly you are working now? You're working on?
Infosys.
Okay. So which technology, Naresh?
5 year mapping, sir. JS engineer.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, hi, this is Sujit. I'm working as a MicroStrategy resource. I have around 9 years of experience. So,
MicroStrategy. Okay, fine.
MicroStrategy, MSGR.
Micro dynamics or strategy?
Strategy.
MicroStrategy. Yeah, fine. That's
Hi, this is Kamal. So I have 14 plus years of experience. So I started with informatica. Later point, I'm into the people's of still I'm
Hi, myself Seshadri. I have around 9 years experience in BI development, primarily on OBIE software.
OBA, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. So, any others? Just a minute. Hi, Naveen. Fine, no problem, Naveen. That's fine. So is it audible to everyone?
Yes.
Oh, fine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everyone. So we'll start. So now, so before going to the demo, so could you please let me know? So if you have what is your idea about Snowflake? So everyone is like nowadays looking for Snowflake, right? So what exactly is Snowflake? So what is your understanding? Anyone? If you've gone through any documentation or any videos, whatever it may be. So if it is fine, okay. So good. So what is your understanding about Snowflake?
it's primarily like a database. So we have a lot of traditional database, right? So in the market now, Snowflake is built on the cloud applications. That is the main advantage of the Snowflake. And moreover, so like Mongo database, it is based on the columnar data, right? It reads the data based on the columnar, right? Same Snowflake also reads the data in columnar.
Okay, good. Okay. That's great. Thank you. So any other information from anyone?
Basically, it's another form of ETL tool in the cloud.
Okay. Good. Okay, that's fine, guys. Okay, no issue. So now, so what we understand, right? So that is correct. So now, when it is coming to Snowflake, Snowflake is cloud data warehousing solution. So this is a completely cloud data warehousing solution. If you go to like a traditional definition of Snowflake, we can say that so Snowflake is a cloud data warehousing and it is a software as a service platform and all these things we will tell, right? But so instead of going to this like the documentation which provided by Snowflake, what I will do is, so we'll go with some example, then I will come to this documentation. Then it is very easy to so understand so what exactly this is. Now, so let's say, so here, 1 second.
Yeah, hello Dinesh. Can you tell me a little bit about your background? You told me that you were working in Informatica before, or
I worked in Informatica and then reporting tools and then RPA as well previously.
okay. So did you work on like Python, or did you work on
Python.
Hadoop or?
So I don't have much background on Python. It's on database and then also ETL tools and then RPA tools like Blue Prism and then UiPath. Now currently I'm working as a Snowflake architect.
Okay. So how much of a SQL knowledge we need for this?
A SQL, the basic knowledge is more than enough. So like here, so no need to write PL/SQL processes and functions. All these things is not supported by Snowflake. Okay, so the basic knowledge of SQL is that is more than enough to so learn this.
Okay.
Thank you. So now, so let's come to this. So generally, so when you are having, so we will tell that it is a cloud data warehousing solution, right? So what exactly the cloud? First, we will understand. Before that, so if you anyone is not from the data warehousing background, they will understand a little bit about what is data warehouse. Generally, let's take any scenario in real time. If you want to take a decision on any specific thing, let's say any product manufacturing, so any organization, if they want to take any decision, the what they required, if they want to take a decision, they need a analysis, right? They will do analysis, right? So on this analysis, so they are going to do, they are going to do this analysis on the data, right? So this data, so they cannot take so only 1 day data or 2 days data, so and then they can do the analysis. They are going to take the complete history of the information, right? This complete historical information they will consider, and then they will do the analysis. Based on the analysis, they are going to take a decision, right? Generally, so to take a decisions, so we required the warehouse. Without a warehouse, data warehouse, so we cannot able to take a decision. So let's say for example, so if you also observe, so in any match, if it is going on, so we will see in the screen this player is performing, and then this player graph from the last 5 years, and or this player how many sixes he has taken, he has given, he has scored, and then how many wickets he has taken, right? How many matches he has played, the complete history of his graph, so we can able to see that in a screen, right? The same way, so when it is coming to just a minute, once. Okay, so let's in the same way, so when it is coming to so any like a decision making, so we need, they are going to like analyze, and then so these analysis they are going to do that on the past history, then only they can able to so take a decision, right? So now, so not only for any specific industry, for every industry, like it, let's take a finance, and then let's take a like for example, in finance, banking sector, or healthcare sector, or retail sector, whatever it may be, they need data warehouse to preserve their data and then to do the analysis and to take a decision. For example, if any person, the bank, if they want to give a loan to any specific person, they are going to check this past history, right? Based on like a credit score, CIBIL score, whatever it may, they are going to take a decision whether to give a loan or not, right? The same way, for example, so let's assume that, okay, simple example I will give. When you are purchasing anything in Amazon or Flipkart, whatever it may be, what you are going to do? So on that particular product, you will check, you are going to see the ratings, right? This is like analysis, right? So based on the past history, how many persons has been purchased, and then so what is the ratings they have given, what is the feedback they have given, all this information where it is available, this available in a warehouse, that is a warehouse, so that they can able to show the information so in a our Amazon, right? To do that, so they are going to maintain history, right? This history will be available in, so we'll call it as a data warehouse, where the data is all the complete historical data is available. So for any specific related product or any specific information, specific subject, that is called a warehouse. Now when it is coming to Snowflake, Snowflake is to call, Snowflake is a cloud data warehousing solution. It's a cloud data warehousing solution, Snowflake. So we can consider. Now what it means by the cloud? So what is the traditional things? So maybe you heard about, for example, data warehousing solutions they have provided maybe on, so it can be any database. It can be Oracle or Teradata or DB2, right? DB2 or SQL Server or so MongoDB, Cassandra, PostgreSQL, so many things, so many like traditional databases are available in the market, right? All these are the traditional. When it is coming to cloud solutions, so we have Snowflake, we have Snowflake leader in the market. Why? So when compared to the others, it's a leader, we will discuss. So and then we have AWS, in AWS Redshift, and so we have Azure. At the same time, we have GCP. These are the providers, right? So these are the cloud providers, leaders in the market. But especially when it is coming to the cloud warehouse solution, we have a Snowflake. Now, so first we will understand, so what is cloud here? So why we need to go for a cloud? So leaving traditional warehouses nowadays, if you like observe, so every organization with they are like trying to move it to the cloud platform. So why it is happening? We'll discuss with simple example, then everyone can understand very easily. Let's assume that, so we have a requirement to purchase a car, or you want to travel somewhere. So I have two options. If you have a requirement of purchasing a car, if you want to purchase a car, okay, for future purpose also. So what are the things you are going to consider? So when we are purchasing a car, right? So you are going to decide, for example, seating capacity, right? So you need to decide, you are going to decide how many, says what is the seating capacity, and then what is the brand you are going to purchase, and then your EMI, and then so whatever the budget you are going to decide. Then so you required parking place, right? Then you need to take care of the service, then you need to take care of insurance, right? And the maintenance, right? All these things we have to take care. And along with that, so if you require the driver also, so you need to hire. And so once you have the purchase a car, maybe based on your family requirement down the line, after 2 to 3 years or whatever it may be, so when you are going to this after 2 to 3 years, maybe you need to upgrade your car, right? Upgrade if you want. So there is a chances is there for the upgradation, right? So these are the things we need to consider. So before purchasing a car, right? You have to be ready to for the EMI, and then so you have the parking place, services every year service, so insurance every year insurance, and then monthly maintenance, right? And then so all these things you have to take care. Now, so if you want to purchase a car, you need a budget, right? And everyone cannot able to afford this one, right? Who is having the budget, they can go for this. Now what is the other solution we have? Like we have, for example, Uber services, like any car service providers, Uber, so or Ola, whatever it may be, Uber services, the car service providers, they are offering, right? When you come to this, there are Ola services. So what you are going to do? So you are going to install the application, right? And you are going to book your service whenever it is required. And what you are going to do, you are going to pay for use, right? Pay for what you are utilizing, right? And the best part is you are not going to bother about the driver, maintenance, insurance, and then like services, right? And then parking place, and then EMI, and then at the same time like upgradation, and then driver. So it is not all your headache, right? Whenever you require, so you can book your the services and then you can utilize. And then what is happening here? So it is affordable for affordable. Everyone can able to offer these services, and at the same time you are going to pay only for utilization, right? So and another thing is, so you can forget about like upgradation, downgrade, whatever it may be here. So for example, if you want to go to office alone, you will book a compact car. If you want to go with family for a vacation, you will book a luxury car. It depends on you. And the best part is it is affordable by everyone, right? The same way. So this is the completely, you can relate it to cloud. So this is a cloud platform. And at the same time, so this one we'll call it as a complete SaaS, software as a service, software as a service. Here everything, so they are taking care of. So they are taking care on behalf of us, right? So we are the maintenance, it is not our headache, service is not our headache, and then insurance is not our headache, right? Everything they are taking care, right? So we are utilizing their services and then we are paying for that. It's kind of plug and play. So just it's readily available, everything readily available. You are going to utilize the service and then you are going to pay for what you are using. And when it is coming to like our solutions, like when it is coming to this particular the warehouse, so generally if you have if you have traditional things here, if you see the right hand side, let me, okay. The right hand side is the Snowflake, and then left hand side, so this is a traditional one, traditional. So this one, and then this one is a cloud. Now when you come to this, see this one, so when it is coming to traditional one, so what is required? So we require the environment, right? So we need a licenses, we need upgrade, and then so we need the patching. So on the software, once you have purchased, you need to do the maintenance, so patching and then upgradation, everything we need to take care. And at the same time, so what will happen here? Suppose this year you have purchased 6 to 7 licenses. Let's assume that any database licenser, 7 licenses you have purchased. Maybe next year, so you may so need to like increase the licenses, or you may not require the all the licenses which you are existing, right? You may so go to degrade the licenses, right? All these things will happen at the same time. So once you have, for example, let's say when you are doing installation, any database installation, so what you are going, one second. So when you, for example, if you want to install anything, what you will do, you are going to download, right? So executable file, for example, executable file for the software, download your database software, and you are going to install. When you are installing, so you need to configure, right? It will take some time, right? And at the same time, so when any organization is installing, so what they will have to do, they have to also do the same thing. but so they need a server rooms, right? They need a maintenance, database administrator. All these persons are required. But when it is coming to Snowflake, so it is not our headache. Everything will be taken care. So on behalf of us, also from the Snowflake guys. Snowflake is going to take care on behalf of us. Okay. So now let's come to, I will show you. So what exactly, so we are going to do, so when you are coming to Snowflake, so what it means by that? So we'll see that, so I will show you the tool, so how it looks like, what are the things we need to implement it here, how it is different from the other traditional things. So when you come to here, so this is, so one, the difference, so what we can so compare with the traditional, and then so our the Snowflake cloud, the warehousing. So here the architecture, when it is coming to architecture, so we have 3-layer architecture: service layer, cloud services layer, storage layer, and then so we have a computation layer. So these 3 things, so if you go in depth, so what each and every services is going to do here, if you observe, the cloud services is responsible for authentication, access control, and then so infrastructure management, optimization, transaction management, security, and metadata. All these things will be taken care by the cloud services. And these cloud services, again, the Snowflake is building on any existing the cloud platforms. It can be a AWS, or it can be a GCP, or it can be a Azure, any one of the cloud providers. And we have a computation layer. Computation layer we can consider as a VDS, or remote desktops. And so another thing is a storage layer. Another thing is storage layer. So this one, the further storage. Now, so here we are telling that the cloud, it's a cloud complete platform, so no need to purchase the licenses. But how the Snowflake will charge? Let's say, so when you are utilizing 1 hour utilization of your compute resources, 1 hour utilization of your compute resources, Snowflake is going to charge around $1.3 and $1.3 per hour for the computation utilization. It means, let's say, for example, you have taken a laptop for rent. When you are utilizing, then only you are going to pay. It means when you are in front of your system, when you are doing something, then only you are paying. When your system is logged, or when your system is shut down, so you are not going to pay anything. That is a concept. Another
Dinesh, what is compute here?
I will show you exactly computation. That is compute resources. That is nothing but a virtual VDS. We can say that VDS are virtual machines. This one is the middle layer, right? You can see that. This one we can call it as a compute layer. This is a in between the connectivity in between the cloud services and then storage. Okay, let's say, for example, we are working from home, so with your laptop, right? With your laptop, when you are connecting, so you need, if you want to connect to organization applications, then so what in between, so we have a VDAs, right? Virtual desktops or remote desktops. We used to connect with remote desktops or VDAs. That is nothing but a compute layer here, computation layer, or we can call it as a so virtual. Here one more so word for this is so virtual warehouse, or we can call it this, not related to your traditional warehouse. The naming they have given as a virtual warehouse for the computation layer. Okay, so we'll discuss more than this. Now another charge will be for 1 terabyte of the storage, 1 terabyte of the storage per month. This is per month. They are going to charge around $23. These are the charges from the Snowflake, what they are going to charge from the users. Now, so when you come to this is the charges, fine. So when it is coming to utilization, suppose let's say when you are firing a query, select star from something, then so how these things will work, how each and every layer how it will be related. So we'll see that. Before that, so let me log into our Snowflake. If you want to create a Snowflake account, so generally what you need to do, if you want to install any other databases, you need to download and then you need to configure it and then you need to install and then you need to do the configuration, right? That is a traditional thing. So now when it is coming to cloud, just observe this, just type Snowflake trial here, Snowflake trial version, and you will get this link. And here, so you need it say like in 1 or 2 minutes you can able to create. It's very fast. Just a minute. Okay. Now the first page. So you are going to give your details. You are going to fill your details. And when it is coming to free trial account, the Snowflake will give us for the practice purpose 30 days free trial account, and so we'll have the $400 credit usage limit, $400 of the worth limit. This worth, so credit limits based on this calculation. So 1 hour of computation and then 1 hour of 1 terabyte of the storage, $23. 1 hour of computation they are going to calculate based on this. Once if it is exceeded, so if it is reached $400 credit limit, then you cannot able to perform any operations in your the trial account. Again, what you have to do is, again you need to register with your new email ID and then you can create a new account. Okay, so there is no limitation. You can create a number of accounts. Now so I will give you some details here. Now observe this. I have given the username, so first name, last name, and then email, and then organization name, and then selected country. After that, continue. When I click on continue, so this is the important thing. In the second page, observe this. You can able to see 3 editions. So one is standard edition, enterprise edition, business critical edition. All these other different editions in a Snowflake version. Snowflake, the licenses. When it is coming to, so these 3 editions you can able to see for the trial version, right? So for the practice purpose. But actually, so when it is coming to, we have another version, that is virtual private Snowflake, VPS, virtual private Snowflake. This is available. So this is not available for the trial version. This is available only for the organization. If you are requesting, so you can send a mail to support team. So we need a virtual private Snowflake. Now for the trial version, you can able to see these 3 things: standard, enterprise edition, and then business critical. And here, if you want to practice all the Snowflake features, whatever the Snowflake features they are going to give, like time travel and then multi-cluster warehouse environment, the metallurgy view. So things we will see that. So once the tool is installed. So now, so you can select enterprise edition. If you want to see all the features, so you can work with enterprise edition here. Now, so click on the enterprise edition. And when you come to another thing, see this one. So where the Snowflake, so they are building their solution on top of the existing, the leaders, so in the cloud providers. See this, so we have a Azure, and then we have AWS, and then we have GCP, right? So based on the organization requirement, they can choose any one of the cloud provider. And so here in this particular thing, so we'll get at least 2 certification questions. So one thing they will ask about this, the futures, the time travel multi-cluster is available in which minimum Snowflake edition, that is enterprise edition. Another question will be, so in the below options, what all the cloud platforms Snowflake can be installed. So it can be a Azure and AWS and then GCP. So it will not support in IBM cloud. It will not support Oracle cloud. Okay. Now, so you have to choose any one of the cloud provider. Now, when you select any one of the cloud provider, again, I have selected here AWS. Again, it will ask you the region. See this one? It is asking the region. Here, region, you need to select the region always from the nearest region from where you are working. Okay. That will reduce the latency. I am selecting nearest region to me. I have selected. So latency means the response time in between the application. So when you hit something, for example, when you are, let's assume that when your internet is slow, and then when you are hitting the gmail.com or Facebook or whatever it may be, it will take some time to display the web page, right? That is a latency. So response time, so that is, so latency here. So you can select any region, it will work, but always, so choose your the nearest region. Okay, so now once it is selected, so you need to click on the terms and condition and then get started. That's it. Your Snowflake account is created. Your Snowflake trial account is created. Now once it is created, now observe this. So let me come to the account details. So how it will send the link? It will send a link to us for activation purpose. If you observe, just a minute. Let me refresh one more time. Okay. So now we received the link. Now if you observe this link, see this one, click to activate, right? Click to activate. So when you click on the link, so you are going to get the activation link here. Okay. Now this is the just. Now this is the activation link, right? So here you need to provide your username and then password. Just I am giving the username Snowflake Demo, and I'm giving the password. It will ask you the confirmation password. Then after that, just okay. So get started. Click on the get started. So when you click on get started, so now observe this, the link will be activated. So your trial account is activated now. So when you observe the link, what it has provided, so this is the link so which it is provided. Every day we are going to log in. So with this particular link, see this one. So this is your Snowflake link. So no need to like installation and configuration, everything they have so configured for us. So now you can able to so work with what is the so password username I have given. So Snowflake Demo I have given. This is the username. After that I have given a password. That's it, right? Now if you observe the link here, what you can able to see it, right? This one is your unique account details. This one is unique account details. And next one, Asia Pacific South one. This is a region. This one it is telling about region. And then this one is the cloud provider which you have selected in AWS cloud platform. So Asia Pacific South one region, and then this is your Snowflake account. When you're creating, so for every account, so when you are creating every trial account or every so unique account, so it will have a unique details. This account details will be unique for every account. Now if you want to log in, so now here the logged in, right? Okay, now let's me sign out and then log in one more time. Let's come here and then log out. Okay, now Snowflake Demo, I have given the username, then I have given the password. Now observe this, once you logged in first time, so it will log in with by default role. By default role. Default role here you can able to see this one, system admin role. All this role by default it is Snowflake has created for us. And here one more thing. So in certification they will ask one question. So what are the roles available in Snowflake? They will give administrator. So along with this they will give administrator. administrator will not be available in Snowflake. In Snowflake, we have account admin role only. We don't have any other role, other administrator role. Remaining roles we have system admin, public, security admin, user admin. These are the different roles. But super user will be account admin. In other databases, we will have administrator, right? The same way here we have a account admin. Account admin will have all the permissions. Now, if you observe, so in this is the complete the tool, your tool where you are going to work with. And if you want to write any scripts or if you want to write any SQL commands, you are going to work it here in the worksheet here, this one. And then left hand side you can able to see this, right? This is a navigation panel. Here you can able to see the databases and then tables and then views, what are the objects we have created. Now if you observe this here, so we have 3 databases by default, it has been created for us. Now one thing they have given for the practice purpose, Snowflake sample data. Here if you go inside this, you can able to see the different schemas and then different tables is available, right? Now this is the real-time data they have given for us for the practice purpose. This one TPC, right? TPC-DS. This is the real-time organization, the call center organization. If you search with TPC-DS, you can able to see this is the organization. So from this organization, Snowflake has requested the live data, call center organization requested the live data, and then they have shared it to us for our practice purpose. And so here, if you observe most of the thing, so generally, most of the thing no need to write a query. So most of the thing we can able to do it by GUI here. If you observe generally what we have to do, if you want to know the count of the table, if you want to see the table size, if you want to see the table description, for everything you need to write a query. But here, if you observe this, see this, just we are moving the mouse on the table name. See this one, right? When I'm moving the mouse on the table, so what you can able to see, so it is telling that number of when the table is created, and then how many number of records, rows, see this, and then what is the size, right? And then we have a cluster by, that is like nothing but, so you can compare with the order by column. And another one is, see this one, in another table, catalog page table, this what name, table name, created on, and then number of rows, right? And then size. So everything it is telling. So instead of writing a query. And if you want to see the table description, just click on the table. See this one, the down you can able to see the table description. The same way, for example, if you want to create any database, any table, so you can come to, see this one, click on the databases here. And when you click on the database, you can see, so create option. You can see the create option. Just click on create, and the name we will give demo. The demo already available. Sample, the database name which you are giving, and finish. That's okay. Sample will not allow. New. Okay, finish. Now the database is created. How it will be created? So now this database is created. So what will happen in the backend? If you want to see that, now let's create a table and then we will see that what will happen in the backend. Now observe this. Clicked on the database, and then we have all the options. See this, we can create a table, create a view, create a schema, create a stages, file format, sequence, so pipes, right? So pipes is a new concept here in the Snowflake. We will discuss in the going forward classes. Now, if you want to create a table, say this one, create it, and I will give EMP, and then so we required some columns. For example, employee ID, employee ID, and then so employee name, and then employee designation or location, LOC, location, right? So now, so ID, it will be a integer number, like all the data types, the same, so way other traditional databases, what all the things we have here also. And to deal with semi-structured data type, so with semi-structured data, we have a data type called variant. When you are working with the JSON files, Parquet files, we will discuss that. Now here, observe this one. So we created a columns and then data types we have. When I click on finish, table will be created with this structure. How it will be created in backend, if you want to see that, click on show SQL option. Observe this here. So we have show SQL option here. Click on show SQL. When you click on show SQL, observe this. What you can able to see, create table, right? Database, in this database, in this schema, and then this is the table name, EMP table, and then column, and then data type, column name, data type, right? This script, this SQL command will return in the backend by Snowflake, and this SQL command will be fired on the database. Then this table will be created. When I click on finish, that SQL command will be fired on the database and the table will be created in the backend. Now observe this, click on finish. Now the table we created, the same way we have a database also we have created. If you want to see these two things, table and this database, come to worksheet. Now click on refresh. So here you can able to see the default databases, so which you created here. When you click on refresh here, refresh option, you can able to see the database which you have created. See this one, it is telling that the database name, when the database is created, and then who is the owner of this, right? And then if you go inside the database, you can see in the public schema. Okay, we have generally, when you created any database here, so you will have two schemas. One is information schema and then public schema. By default it will be there. So whatever the tables, objects you are going to create, everything will be under public schema. Information related to these objects, like metadata information, all this information will be available in information schema. Okay, that's the difference. Now when you come to this table, see this one, the table is created, but we don't have any records here. Right? Zero records. Okay. Now if you come to, so here, so how it will work in the backend when you file a query, how the Snowflake is going to charge from the users. Now if you observe here, come to this any specific schema, and we'll take one particular table. This particular thing we will take. Okay. If you want to pick the complete information, just click on this, click on the three dots, right? And then so click on place name in SQL. Then the complete along with the database and schema, everything it will come. Now if you don't want to give the complete thing, then what you have to do is, here we need to select the database manually. Like for example, so see here, so which database, and then the schema. So what is the schema here? So SF100, right? Click on this and then come here, SF100. You have to select like this. So let's say if you don't want to give the complete name, you want to give only the table name, then come here. So let's say generally select count star from table name. If you want to know the how many records, the number of records, then what you will do, select count star, right? Now when it is coming to count star information, that is related to metadata, right? When you file a query, if it is related to the metadata, first it will check so whether the particular user is having access control or not. And once it is checked all the details, then it will check so whether the requested data, is it from a metadata or not. Metadata means like count information, minimum, maximum, all this information. So we'll call it as a metadata. When it is related to metadata, directly it will give the information. So from this particular thing, the cloud service layer, it will not send that to compute resources. It will not send to compute resource. Now what we discussed, when it is coming to the pricing, when you are utilizing compute resources, then only Snowflake will charge from us. When you are utilizing, so this one, so in storage, then Snowflake will charge from us, right? Now, so what we are doing here, we are trying to pick some information. this information when you execute this. Okay, before running this, observe one more thing. The computation resource, right? That is nothing but a warehouse here. Warehouse means nothing but, don't consider this as a data warehouse. This warehouse is nothing but a computation resource. Okay, if you observe, okay, we'll discuss this again. Okay, so when it is coming to computation resources, you can able to see in the configuration the t-shirt size, the size of the warehouse, nothing but, so your system configuration, maybe it's like similar to if you have any idea EC2 instances. I will give you with example, then so come to this again. Now, so when it is coming to the computation resources, when you are utilizing this computation resources, then only it will charge. When it is coming to here, the worksheet, this is the computation resource, right? So this one, compute resource. This one, if you observe the small radio button here, this one is not green. This one not turned into green. This is idle now, right? When I am running this query, just observe what will happen. When we are running this, it is displayed the result, right? And you see this one, it not turned into green, right? It is still in a idle mode. Now, if you want to see what happened in the backend, it is displaying the result, but it is not charging anything because it is not activated. So what happened in the backend, if you want to see, in generally we will call it as a query execution plan. So what happened in the backend? So generally in other database we will see query execution plan, right? To see, so what exactly is happening in the backend. To see that, come here, click on query ID. Observe one more time here. So what I am doing. So once you find the query, then click on open history. In open history, you can able to see query ID here, right? Query ID. This query ID is unique for each and every query what we are running in a worksheet. This is the worksheet, right? So you can see the worksheet name here, new worksheet. Like this, you can create 50 worksheets in your account, not more than that, only 50 worksheets. Now, so if you come to the query ID, you can able to see in the profile, you can able to see what happened in the backend. Now observe this, what it is telling. It is telling that metadata based result 100%. Whatever we have requested, that information from metadata, right? That's why, so it is not turned into green. Now let's pick some other information other than this count. So let's say, so instead of count, just we will give select star. Okay, when you are using select star from the same table, select star from this particular table, catalog page table, from this particular database, and then from this schema. When you are selecting, observe this icon, observe this radio button here. We are running now. Observe that. See this one, it will display the result. Now what happened? It turned into green. This one, for this particular query, how much time it ran? See this one, 2.03. For this much seconds, the Snowflake has charged for this computation layer. 2.03 seconds. End of the day, it will calculate all the timings. So how much the computation has utilized. So based on that consolidation, Snowflake is charged from the users. Now it is telling 2.03 seconds. And if you observe what happened in the backend, click on query history, again query ID. If you observe, this query ID and this query ID are unique. See this one, right? This query ID is unique, and then this query ID will be unique. Now when you click on the query ID, see this, you can able to see the other statistics here. Previous query, we didn't see all the statistics, right? It is telling that only the metadata information. But here, if you observe, see this one, it has like a processing, remote disk IO, initialization, all these things. And then at the same time, it is telling that partition, how many partitions has been scanned. And then what is the scan progress. Now if you observe one thing, remote disk IO here, Remote disk IO means nothing but when it is hitted your storage layer, that is remote disk IO, that we will call it as a remote disk IO. Okay. Now, so one more thing. So when it is coming to, see this one, just observe this percentage scanned from cache. Percentage scanned from cache, they are telling that it is a 0%. It is 0%, right? Okay, just observe this. It means, so we didn't have anything from the, it didn't pick anything from the cache. Where this cache will be available? If you observe the architecture layer, see this one, in computation layer, we have another thing called a cache layer. See this cache. For every computation layer, every virtual warehouse, we have a cache here. So this cache, if first time when it is hitting this computation layer, first it will check in a cache layer whether the requested information is available in a cache layer or not. If it is available, then directly give it to us. If it is not available in the cache layer, then it will hit the storage layer. That's happened in the backend here. Observe this, percentage scanned from the cache 0, scanned progress 100%, right? So completely it is picked from the backend, from the storage layer. Now, one thing, one more time, if you come here and if you run the same query one more time, what will happen is, just observe this, one more time we are running the same query. Let's pick this and then run the same query here one more time. Observe this one, how much time it has taken? 43 milliseconds. The same query, right? So same records, same number of records, same query. First time it has taken 2.3 seconds. Sorry. Second time it has taken 43 milliseconds. First time 2.03, second time 40. Observe the difference, how much difference we have. Now, if you want to see why this one is given, so this less time, if you come to the open history, and then if you observe the query ID here again, now observe what it is telling, query result. Query result reuse 100%. It means this is completely from the cache layer. This is completely from the cache. It didn't pick any information from the storage. That's why it is giving this time. This cache will be available, whatever the cache it is showing here, right? It picked from the cache. This cache will be available 24 hours. 24 hours. After the 24 hours, the cache will be removed from the backend. So again, so when you are running a query, for every query, cache will be available for 24 hours. Okay. Now, so okay, this one, the computation. So this, for whatever the computation we are utilizing, the VDIs, this one active, based on the timing, consolidate timing, it is going to charge. So for 1 hour, so it is going to charge $1.3. This is the costing. Okay. Now, so when it is coming to computation, so what it mean by the virtual, so warehouse, so and so what it mean by shared virtual warehouse, scale up and scale down, automatic scale up and scale down is available here. If you come to this is the important feature in Snowflake, which is not available in any of the cloud providers. When you click on this, and then when you click on configure, now observe this, compute, so warehouse, configuration, virtual warehouse, this we will call it as a t-shirt sizes. This we will call it as a t-shirt sizes. And another thing we have, this is, we call it as a clusters. This we will call it as a cluster. This will define multi-cluster warehouse capability. This is not available in the cloud, any of the solutions. Now, so here, so we will give you with the example. Okay, so then we'll understand very easily. For example, we have one task. Okay, this task has to be finished in assigned to one person, and then it will finish in 100 hours. Okay, if you assign, for example, if you assign for this person 4 GB RAM system, 4 GB RAM configuration system, if you assign, so he is one person, he will finish within 100 hours. So what is the configuration of the system we have given? 4 GB. Now, so when he is performing the work, so it sometimes it is hanging, sometimes it is very slow, the performance is slow, the configuration is not sufficient. Then what you will do, let's say you will increase the configuration. Let's assume that 8 GB RAM and then the processor also you have increased. Then what will happen? Definitely the number of hours will be reduced, right? And at the same time, so this particular system cannot able to take the load. Okay, it's a huge volume of the file, it is unable to open or it is unable to process whatever it may be. Then what you will do again, so you will increase the RAM 16 GB. Then definitely the performance will be increased. Performance will be increased, right? Based on your this system configuration. The same thing here, we used to call it as a t-shirt sizes here. Virtual warehouse t-shirt sizes. So this one, when you are utilizing the small virtual warehouse, 1 credit per hour they will charge from the users. When they are utilizing extra small, 1 credit per hour. When they are utilizing small, they are going to charge 2 credits per hour. Let's assume that here in this scenario, you have taken some laptops for rent. When you have taken a laptop, they will charge the rent based on the configuration, right? Definitely. So for example, 4 GB RAM rent, the configuration for this particular rent will be different. For this particular thing, rent will be different, right? The same way here, that is the t-shirt sizes. When your t-shirt size is increasing, obviously your credits utilization will be increased. Always it will be doubled. So here, so till we have the 4x large. So last month, this month they have released the 5x large, but still it is in a review. Still they are reviewing this. So we can use, so from extra small to 4x large. It's up to us. It's depend on our the work. It depends on the what we are processing. So generally for the developers, all the developers, they will give one virtual warehouse size. For all the testers, they will give another virtual warehouse size. And then for all the data loading, they will create another virtual warehouse. Okay, it's a so another big topic. So we'll discuss in the further classes. Now another thing, the multi-cluster warehouse. This is what it means by that is, for example, the same task. So we have assigned to one person, right? The same task. So if you assign it to 5 persons, then what will happen? The work will be distributed, right? And the number of hours will be reduced to 20 hours, right? Instead of 100 hours, we can finish this within 20 hours, right? So what is happening? The work is parallelly distributing here. The distribution, we will call it as the multi-cluster here. So these are the things in the backend. Automatically, so no need to like a once it is configured, so no need to like a scale up and then scale down. Automatically Snowflake is going to take care of scale up and scale down. And one more thing, if you observe the important thing, auto suspend here. If you come to this worksheet, let me cancel this. What we discussed, when this is active, then it will be charged, and then how much time it is utilizing, right? And one more thing, when you are not utilizing, then why we need to pay, right? So when you are not utilizing, so we can so release this, nothing but, so that is nothing but a auto suspend mode. So when you are not utilizing, so maybe if it observe after 5 minutes, after 10 minutes, if it is still idle, for example, in our laptop, if you are not working and if you are open something, and then after that, if you are idly, if you keep your laptop for some time, what will happen? It will go for lock mode, right? That is the so auto suspend. Now observe this, previously it is green. Now, so we are not doing anything on the worksheet on this particular warehouse. It went to green. Sorry, it went to idle mode. It is not in a green, right? So this is nothing but a auto suspend. Automatically, it is going to suspend. And so we have, so most of the like the warehouse features they have included, like so scheduling. Let me show you so what all the things we are going to discuss here. Like, okay, so we have some features like a scheduling and then table types. So change data capture streams, kind of like capturing the changes happening on the table. And so like security, like a data masking policy, and then like a retention time, we can have a time travel option. So time travel option, all these features, and then so how to integrate with other cloud solution, other cloud providers, other like AWS or Azure or GCP, and then how to pick the files from there, and then how to load it into the our Snowflake. So we'll see that. So all the features, and at the same time, so we'll start from the basics to so advanced, and everything it will be practical only. I will show you everything in the practically here, and then so whatever the scripts we are running, right, and then whatever you are doing. So everyday basis, I will share the scripts to you. We have to practice from your side. So once you practice, if you have any doubts in that session, we will discuss that, and the next session we will go into so jump on the another topic like that. Every topics, whatever you can able to see the icons, right? All the icons, we will discuss it here. All the features we will discuss in the Snowflake. Snowflake has inbuilt capability of like scheduling and then tasks and all those things they have given. So everything we will discuss. And when we are discussing itself, so most of the like interview questions as well as the certification questions also, so we are going to cover. So once the suppose coming to the end, so you have to be capable of like cracking the interview as well as cracking the certification question. That is the agenda of this. So the course, and then course content will be shared by the organizer. You can ask them, and every day recorded sessions will be there. Okay. And then if you have any like questions, and then if you have any like doubts when you are practicing, we will create a WhatsApp group, and then you can like clarify your questions there. Okay. So any specific questions from anyone?
Hey Dinesh, can you show some sample project? We'll be doing it in this training.
Yeah, so not exactly, we cannot say that, but I will show you so what exactly I am doing in my organization.
If you can give a brief about what you are doing, or eventually, are we going to build an actual data warehouse, a functioning, running warehouse?
We will do that. So let's say, for example, we will create a warehouse. Then, so we'll every day. Let's assume that we will have some files available. Files is arriving into AWS. From that location, AWS location, we need to pick the files, and then we need to load it into our Snowflake. Before loading into the Snowflake, we have to do some validation, and at the same time, so we don't want to do it manually. So whenever the file arrives into the AWS bucket, it has to automatically, it will trigger a notification, and then that notification has to identify by the Snowflake. In between, what we will do is we are going to create an integration object. So by the integration object, once it is created, these integration details again we need to update in the AWS. So for the integration purpose. So once it is done, then we will create a Snowpipe. So then Snowpipe, once it is created, then we are going to load the data into the table. So these are the things. It's a kind of example I have given. So these things we will discuss.
Hi Dinesh, Ishwar here. I
Yeah,
have a question like, yeah, thank you. How it is, how much demanded in market for the Snowflake, and what are the current companies are using? Is there any limitation for this Snowflake to use?
Understand your question. So when it is coming to like a demand issue, we can say that it's just booming in the market. It's like a baby in the cloud market, demanded tool, and the utilization purpose. So most of the like companies, all the like organizations, whoever is like implementing the warehouse projects, right? So they are all like migrating to the cloud data warehousing solution. So because so from the recent like a report given by the Snowflake, so almost all when compared to the traditional warehouse solutions, the Snowflake solution, they are almost saving 50 to 60% of the money they are saving. So that is the ROI they are getting. So that is the one thing, and then it is very fast, and then also very like reasonable price when compared to the others. And so even another thing, okay, so what are the limitations in a Snowflake? Snowflake, the completely built for ELT, extract, load, and transform. And here, one more limitation is, if you want to like implement any transformation logics, let's say in ETL, you are going to implement transformations logics, you will implement transformations, right? Those things is not possible here. Okay. When it is coming to that, so we may say that, okay, so if it is not possible, we can write it in a script like procedures and functions, right? But traditional procedures and then functions, whatever we are going to implement it in traditional database, right? That is not supported in Snowflake. If you want to do that, any transformations logic, any implementation like logic to be implemented, then we have to approach the Python or JavaScripting. We need to write that, we need to convert that logic into the JavaScript or Python script, then we have to integrate it to the Snowflake. So that is the one challenging in Snowflake. So anyway, if you want to like completely remove the ETL tool and then you want to replace it with so Python and then JavaScript, then Snowflake. Generally, what will happen in any data warehousing projects, it will be like this, right? So you will have like ETL tools, ETL developers, and then ETL tools will be there. Then they are going to load it into the warehouse. So once they load it into the warehouse, then it will connect it to the reporting, right? Here, if you want to replace the ETL in place of that, so you can use the Python or JavaScript. Okay, so that is so one thing. So if you want to go with the ETL tools, then no need to worry about the exact the ETL. So you can implement the transformations logic. The Snowflake has given some like ETL tools, the open source ETL tools, which they are supporting. Now, if you observe here, see this one, these are the ETL tools which Snowflake will support. Like here you can see the Matillion, right? And then just okay. Now observe this one. So Matillion and then Stitch and then Informatica, right? All these are the some of the open sources. When it is coming to Informatica, it's a paid one, that is true. But when it is coming to when in the combination of Snowflake and the Informatica, they have given some limitation. Up to 1 billion of rows per month only, it will be free. After that, Informatica will charge from the users. Okay, that is the limitation. So most of the time, so what they will do is they will integrate with, if they want to implement any transformation logics, so then they will go for the Matillion or some other thing. So they can go for the Stream and then Stitch, this kind of tools.
Dinesh, can we do Airflow on Snowflake?
That concept we have in a data shares. This one, we have a shares, right? Here we can create Airflow. That is possible.
I mean, having the complete transformation logic written over here itself, or we need to have to integrate that with Airflow and then load the Snowflake library in Airflow and then do the transformations there.
Okay, that I forgot talking about. I am not sure about that exactly.
Okay.
We'll check that once in the backend, so how it will work.
And are we covering streams also in this course?
Yes, we are going to cover all the topics. So here you can able to say that everything we are going to cover.
Mm-hmm. Dinesh, do you have a rough layout, like how many days is this training?
It will be around 27 days, 27 hours each and every day. It will be 1 hour.
Mm-hmm. Is there a self-paced option other than connecting daily on like the specific time?
Daily, so we have a recorded sessions will be there. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll send you the recorded session if you want.
Okay.
So Dinesh, is this the first class?
No, this is just a demo class, Sasi. So from maybe from Monday or Tuesday, we will start the actual class.
Oh, okay.
Dinesh, can this be also integrated with Git or GitLab? Like if you have long scripts, how do you make sure they are saved and maintained in Snowflake?
That is for the versioning, we will use that. We will use GitLab and GitHub.
And that will be also part of the demonstration when you reach to that topic?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, hey Dinesh, thanks for conducting the session. So I have a couple of questions. So basically, basically I have 14 plus years of experience, right? So my question is pertaining to ETL. I worked in my starting of my career. So would it be a challenge for taking the Snowflake, or only with the Snowflake can I try for the job?
So when it is coming to, so considering your experience, Kamal, so my suggestion will be you can go for the Snowflake architect, because anyway you have like all the other tools knowledge also, right? So here you
Right.
need to know all the like functional, how each and every functionality work in Snowflake, how we can integrate with other like tools. Let's say when you want to integrate with AWS and Snowflake, so how to do that? What all the options is available? So this
Hmm.
particular thing it will be very helpful for you. So that
Okay.
is more than whatever the knowledge we are going to cover here, right? That is more than enough for the things.
Architecture level.
Yep.
Okay, and second question, so out of 14 years, how many years of experience I have to show for Snowflake in the resume?
Okay. Coming to that, we can not more than 3, Kamal. That is sure. So because it's from so long back they are utilizing. So but from last to like 2 to 3 years only, every organization is like implementing Snowflake.
Okay, got it. And the last one, so only Snowflake will suffice, right? Only, or else do I have to learn Python?
Not required. Not
Ah,
So
okay, thanks.
here, as we discussed, like in any like a data warehousing projects, we will have ETL developers as well as reporting developers, right? The same way,
Right.
in organization maybe you may see Unix developers, right, to build some scripts. At the same time, you will have some scheduling, where for example, control M or Karn tab, maybe you heard about it. These are the
Control M, right?
scheduling, right? Yeah,
Con
control M. So those developers also
yeah.
it will be that. Same way in like Snow data whereas Snowflake also the same thing. We will have a Snowflake developer, Snowflake architect, as well as if any like my ETL tools they are using, it can be a Matillion developers. Same way we will have the Python developers or JavaScript developers.
Okay, got it. Thanks. Thanks.
Dinesh,
Any other?
adding to that question, yeah, I
Yes,
have
yes.
one more question. What are the major requirements, including with the Snowflake? For example, ETL developer should have at least knowledge on the SQL, Unix, and also might be on AutoSys or Car, right? In the same way, if we choose the Snowflake, what exactly we require? Other tools or other knowledge? Kind of.
Understand. The knowledge will be the for the Snowflake. SQL knowledge is required. That is mandatory. Another thing is data warehousing knowledge, data warehousing concepts. Like so, what is like a star schema? What is Snowflake schema? And then what exactly is a data warehouse? And then so what are the different types? Is there like so SCD concepts? So these things it is required.
So what about the cloud service, cloud things like Azure
Cloud
or AWS?
mandatory. It is not mandatory, sure,
It's not.
because yeah, it's not mandatory. What we will do is within the Snowflake only, when you come to that particular topic, I will show you exactly how we are implementing. Within the Snowflake itself, we are creating integration object. So it will generate a link. That link we will give it to the AWS team. So please update this link in your like permissions. So once they given the permission, then from that particular location, automatically it will pick the data. That's it. So everything we will do it in so within the Snowflake only.
Okay. Here we are not. It is not exactly supporting ETL. Might be it is only the data warehousing, right? So
Yes.
reporting also other teams are available. Might be ETL is having other team. Actually, data warehousing side, what exactly the work is expecting from company? It is actually some set of storage, right? What we are going to do, either what exactly we are doing there.
Okay.
And a
So
Snowflake
here
like.
exactly what we will do is, so we'll like build some time travel concepts, and then we will build some scheduling option. Internal scheduling is there. We are going to build some. We will ask them to to create some table structures we'll ask to create, they will give us to create some tasks, dependencies, and then they will ask us to create some stream concepts, okay, and then integration in between the application to application. And then when, so it is, suppose if it is a migration project, we need to validate the scripts also. When you are migrating from Oracle to Snowflake, the same exact script will not work here, right? So we need to cross check the scripts, and then we have to build the same structure here in a Snowflake. So this most of the thing, so it will be like that.
Thank you, Dinesh.
Hello.
Yeah.
Dinesh, I have one question. Hello.
Yeah, Naresh, tell me.
Can I speak Telugu or English?
Yeah, anything is fine, Naresh, no problem.
ఓకే యాక్చువల్లీ నాకు 5 years ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఉంది ట్రిపుల్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ నేను అంటే టోటల్ గా నాన్ ఐటీ
Fine. Understand, Naresh.
So,
Do one thing. You can ask
Okay.
organizer to connect a conference call with me. Okay, we will discuss.
ఓకే ఓకే దినేష్
ఒకసారి కాల్ చేయండి, మనం మాట్లాడదాం.
ఓకే ఫైన్ థ్యాంక్
ఓకే, థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Dinesh, reporting is one downstream for data warehouse.
Yeah.
Can there be other applications making API calls to the Snowflake data warehouse? Is that scope of this training?
No, that is not in the scope of that.
Okay. And after this training, can someone go for just SnowPro certification, or can also go for architect certification?
Snowcore Pro certification you can go for. So once you have the Snowcore Pro certification, after like a 6 months gap, you can apply for architect certification.
At that time, will there be a secondary training on the top of this, or this training is enough to take that exam as well?
This training is enough to take the exam.
Sorry, I missed that part. Dinesh, can you please repeat it?
This training is enough, Harsha. So the prerequisites will be for the Snowflake architect. So you need to clear the Snowflake Core Pro certification.
Got it. And is there a mandatory 6 months block period that you need to wait for?
Sometimes they will allow, sometimes they will ask for the 6 months gap.
Okay.
It depends.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will share you the certification dumps also. So once at least 70% of the course completed, so you can utilize the dumps, and then you can practice the things.
Okay.
Any other questions from anyone?
Are we also building a data lake here, or just data warehouse is the final product?
Data warehouse.
Okay. But is it a possibility in Snowflake to create a data lake as well?
Snowflake, so what we have is we have this one external stages is there. So there we can, so for sample, I will show you so how to like create a data lake and how to pick the data lake from AWS, and how exactly we can do it in a Snowflake. We will see that.
Okay. And similar to AWS calculator, do we also have like a Snowflake calculator? Because I believe we'll be using free version, right?
Okay.
Is that something we need to worry about while doing this training?
So no need to worry about. So we have the controlling concept. So we have a concept pricing model and then resource monitoring. There we can control the calculations and all.
Okay.
So that is the option so we are having. Okay, we will do that there. Okay.
All right, Dinesh. Thank you for answering questions.
Okay, fine. Any other questions? Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience.